What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Teen Mom 2 Mess Nathan Griffith has been hit with a restraining order, and it's going to be lasting for 1 year, and it's been filed against him by a former friend. According to The Sun, the woman who filed the restraining order against Nathan was introduced to him in October of 2018, and that they've been kind of like seeing each other off and on as friends ever since. And this woman charges that in March of 2020, Nathan started to send her unwanted and unwelcome messages, and that included allegedly showing up to her home, and I quote, uninvited, unannounced, belligerent, and drunk, and refusing to leave when asked. The police response to this woman's request for protection against Nathan was incredibly disappointing to me. So she claims that in April of this year, Nathan showed up to her house like super drunk after she already told him 3 times that she did not want him to come over, and this was in writing. So what she did was she called the police, and they told her, listen, you're gonna have to file a restraining order because no crime had occurred here. And to me, that is pretty freaking terrifying, that like there's someone at her house currently after she told him in writing 3 times not to come. He's got a history of sending her unwanted messages. He is drunk allegedly. Like the list kind of goes on in terms of how dangerous this is for her. And on top of that, she's a mother to like a young son, and the best the police can tell her is to go file for a piece of paper because there's nothing they could do about it, because apparently no crime had been committed. Like, what is a restraining order going to do when someone is literally at your home drunk, unwelcomed, unwanted? Things only escalated from here because after Nathan showed up to her house and like she had called the police and everything like that, he told her to watch her back, which by any reasonable person can be interpreted as a threat. She submitted text messages confirming everything that she was detailing in her request for the order, and The Sun posted them as well. So this is what the exchange looked like between the two of them. Nathan allegedly texted her, and I quote, "You want me to take Snapchats with them right now, LOL." She said, "Okay, do what you gotta do." To which he responded with, "Okay, good game. I tried to be your friend. Keep milking the system. Watch your 6," which means watch your back. And she responded with, "Is that a threat?" And on March 25th, in another text message exchange, you see him go to her house yet again after she asks him not to. He texts her saying, "I'm already on my way." She says, "No, don't come over tonight. Let me sleep." And he responds with, "Nope, pulling my crazy card." At this point, the police already had a paper trail in regards to her being made uncomfortable by Nathan, who kept showing up at her house unwanted. And what did they do when she called them yet again? When Nathan popped up at her house, someone with a long history of domestic violence, violence in general, DUIs, like just being a raging like psycho, they tell her, go file a restraining order, which was something that she already was in the process of doing. And like anything could have happened that night. Nathan could have broken into her house, harmed her or her child, because at this point he had already communicated a threat. I really don't understand why the police refused to take action here. She already had him threatening her. So in the restraining order, she said, and I quote, "He has threatened that if I keep denying him, that by the time he was done with me, I would be unrecognizable." I literally have chills from reading that because I don't understand why no one could have helped this woman while all of this was happening. Like, sure, now she's got the restraining order, but what is that going to do if Nathan chooses to pop up yet again? Like, he has already abused women in the past several times. He's already been found to be unfit to father either of his children. Like, he is a loose cannon, and I don't understand why the police could not have at least paid him a visit to warn him against seeing her again at the very least. Like, I don't believe that a simple restraining order is going to protect her against someone like Nathan, who already has proven through his life history that consequences don't really mean anything to him. You know what I mean? Like, the threat of losing his children did not force him to be a proper father. In fact, like, he's got like no rights really to either of his kids. He's got minimal rights, I should say, sorry, to his kids. You know, he's got many domestic violence charges despite the criminal baggage that they come with. Like, he's got several DUIs. He doesn't care. Like, the main thing here is protecting her safety. The woman claims that Nathan also sent her a Snapchat message telling her to sleep with her eyes open, and that he's shown a pattern of harassment via social media and text, which he then follows up by arriving at my residence where he is unwanted, drunk, belligerent, and verbally abusive. I'm afraid for my safety and that of my child's. I'm afraid that he will act on all of his previous threats, she continues, adding, I'm asking for help protecting myself and my family. One of the weirdest things about all of this is that Nathan is in a relationship with a woman named Ashley who he's been dating for at least 4 years at this point. So why is he even preoccupied with another woman in the first place? And on top of that, when he went to the court hearing for this restraining order, it was Ashley who was there to lend him emotional support. So I really wonder what is going on with this woman that she even chose Nathan as a partner in the first place, considering she's got her bachelor's degree. Apparently she's working on her master's degree as well. Like, she's got a viable career options, all the men in the world she could choose from, because she is a beautiful girl. She's a successful girl. So why Nathan? Like, he already had a long list of baggage and damage when she found him, and now finding out that he'd been, in my opinion, cheating on her, trying to cheat on her with another woman, threatening another woman, a mother no less. Why is she still there, and why is she supporting him in court as well? I think it's a very, very bad look for her, and it really makes me wonder what she's got going on upstairs, that this is something that she feels like is appropriate for her life. Because, yeah, in my opinion, Nathan does not bring anything of value to her life. In fact, he's been dragging her name through the mud, because now anyone who Googles her, because I think she wants to be a psychologist, if you're in the market for a psychologist and you Google a person, and this is the sort of person that she's attached to, would you want to see her, as your psychologist? I sure as hell would not. So I don't understand what she sees in him. Like, he's unemployed. He talks about her like a dog online. Like, whenever he gets too drunk, he hops on Twitter and talks about how she's always picking fights. She doesn't put out enough. He wants to leave her. Then he deletes it all the next morning and just, continues on a couple months later. I really don't know what it is that Ashley sees in Nathan. And I really wonder what is going on with Nathan in general in terms of his mental state, and whether or not that is something that his family, like his mother in particular, or his father, can force him to get a hold on. Sorry for the noise, guys. There's construction going on in the background, but I think at this point it's time for his family, even his girlfriend, if she wants to stay there, to intervene and do something about him, because he keeps on spiraling and it is not going to end well for him. Guys, what do you think about Nathan being hit with a restraining order from a random girl when he has been in a relationship for the past 4.5 years or so? Absolutely bizarre, is it not? And how do you feel about the police response? It's very sad that the law has their hands tied to where they cannot actually help women being harassed by men with extremely violent histories. Like the fact that all they could tell her repeatedly, even though she's got threats in writing from him, is to go get a restraining order, a piece of paper, is beyond me. Make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.